Today's video, I'm gonna talk about like my ultimate software development kit that I use it every day, and I think that it's worth sharing to you guys, because I think this application is really cool. So it would be best if you guys also know it. So like as a developer, having the right tool is essential to getting the job done efficiently, and have a setup tool that you use it every day, and you don't have to spend time or thought on thinking like what the application that you're gonna use it. That would be extremely useful. So a very first application I would want to introduce, that would be Proxyman. So if you don't know, so Proxyman is an HTTPS networking visualization application, which is very common on the macOS ecosystem. I usually use it to check the network, check like the traffic of the network and like the content of the network, similar to Google Chrome DevTool, but now it's desktop and it has more functionality. It's like it's my top application that I recommend you to use, because like the user interface is extremely beautiful, and the most important thing is this application is built by a very small team with like dedicated hearts. Like I know the founder because like he used to be my teammate in university, but it's a very good application. So just take a look, like for example now like there's some network sent to the Google Chrome, my Google Chrome. I can definitely see like the content of the network, the protocol, the WebSocket, stuff, HTTP, HTTPS. Very useful for any developer who work in the network domain, or even just software development that can check the network and be better at it. On the other hand, there's also like a filter button for you to filter out the protocol, and also like the data sent to the network to Proxymans. It also like have a 2x is like the protocol, the IP address. So if you already know about Postman, I don't know if you know about it, but if you have an app developer who usually work with REST API, especially the web developer, you definitely know about a REST API, right? So REST API, you usually use some tool called Postman to send the request. Even in Proxyman, you can also do it. So for example, if I do like google.com, let's send, I also receive like the header, the body of the google.com. So here, like when you send to the google.com, you will receive the web page of the google.com. The another application I must say, which is OBS Studio. It's an open source software. I have been using it like we're still making YouTube video about traveling. I use this application for on my video stuff, like recording coursework, universities work. Even this video is recorded in OBS. So I highly recommend you to use this application to record video. Now go to the next application in the list. This would be RAP. As you can see on the screen, it's just basically a terminal. So why is there a terminal here? Like why don't we use some terminal like Kitty or iTerm to just the default terminal of macOS? First, about the user interface, you can say like RAP has a very good user interface that can easily navigate between, and also use the command on the directory or stuff. This has a good user interface here. You can obviously see it. If there's an error, it also have a specific user interface for an error. It even has an insert suggested comment. RAP is also have like command navigation. I don't know how to tell this, but it's similar to VS Code, right? The latest thing is that because RAP is written in Rust programming language, this is a very good application with fast performance for anyone who usually work on terminal. So for example, if I do Vim, it's also integrate with Nail Vim. It has a beautiful user interface. Here I already make some config with my Nail Vim, so it's look a bit different. However, Warp is also compatible with Vim and Nail Vim. To install Warp, first just go to GitHub, search for Warp, and then you will see Warp is a very first application, a very first search result that you can find on GitHub, and then you just scroll down, find the installation section. So here if you use it on macOS, just do like brew install cars warp, and then you're ready to go with the application. So it has a very beautiful UI, and the contribution on the GitHub is also reached to like 13,000 in a very short time. The next software which is one of the best software I ever used, which is UTM, because like I'm really interested in system and operating system, so I usually play a bit with operating system. However, like on macOS, you don't want to directly install like boot image or put something, load to something, play with the file system directly on your macOS. That's not a very good practice to do those stuff on your primary machine. So I use UTM to install on the virtual machine and also manage it. You can see right here I have both Arch Linux and also the Linux OS, which is really great. You can see right here I already have two images, right? I just start. Ubuntu operating system is already on my macOS by using the UTM, which is quite fast and doesn't take me a long time to wait. I have a whole operating system on macOS just with one click. So I even can open the system monitoring to manage the resource or use all the application of Ubuntu operating system, the terminal. And just echo hello world or echo best VM toolkit. See, I highly recommend UTM if you use the macOS ecosystem. The another application that would be system monitoring. This application is not free and it's cost around like $4 or $5. I bought it on App Store. So if you find it on App Store, you can find it, no promotion, but because it's a very good application. I usually use it to manage on like the temperature of my machine, my MacBook, also like the volume, the memory, how many memory consumed. So when you activate the system monitor, you open the app, it will have some widgets. So on like the app bar above, like how many the storage is, like or even like also like see how many processes my MacBook is using. So in that way that I can know like which application consume how much computing resource, and also like how many processes is are spawned on my device. In that way that I can adjust to make it better. So even here that I can see like pace in, pace out, and then the use swap. One application definitely must be in this list, that would be Figma. I have been using Figma since the start of university, and I never get bored of it. I use it for every single thing in design or even like thumbnail design. If you see my latest video, I also use Figma to design the thumbnail, which is really great, like easy to use and very beginner friendly. So in Figma you have on the tool here, like I just create a new square and then I just play around with it, quite easy. To also use it to develop the logo for my latest application Yuguru. If you haven't watched Yuguru before, so here's the link. And I cannot describe on the powerful feature of Figma in this one video. However, like if you guys want me to walk through on how I use Figma on my daily work, I definitely will make this video for you guys. However, like Figma will make your life better, easier, and make it different forever. So give it a try. Finally, the last application in the list must be VS Code. It's inevitable to see VS Code in here because I use it every single day for every project, every coding, every schoolwork. I think that in the list is like a most popular application for every developer, right? So maybe just walk through a bit. So VS Code, it has on the plugin that you can use it to manage and also to turn your a basic editor into a real IDE with a specific plugin to work on a programming language. For example, here I have like hundred of plugins. I only use some on my React TypeScript development. So I just install some TypeScript plugin and React plugin. On the other hand, as a Vim enthusiast, VS Code definitely a very good idea for you to flexing on your Vim skill. And I think like VS Code also like a wrap up of this video, and that's pretty much on the tool that I think like every developer on the macOS ecosystem should use. So thank you for watching my video, and see you guys.